welcome back to the channel. Miss Crocheting Coffee here, and today we are doing a whip and chat. Whip stands for work and progress, so get out whatever it is you're working on. Work along with me as I tell you some stories from the coffee house shenanigans. First things first, how was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We had a normal, typical weekend here at the coffee house, and you're going to hear all about it. So get your drink, your snacks, and your whip, and let's get started. So today I am working on Sunflower Witch by Yukochi. Again, Rachel, stop laughing at me. It's a 40 by 44, and as you can tell, I haven't gotten a lot of work done. I know. We'll get into it. So let's go back to Friday night. We're going to try to go in line here, not jump so much, but we might jump a little bit. So again, I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. So Friday night, me and Mr. Coffee were supposed to stay up all night. Now, as you guys know, I was a little bit of a panic mode on Friday because I released my Patreon vlog to everyone. So for those folks that were nosy enough to want to see the Patreon vlog and join Patreon, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. For those who don't know, yes, I have a Patreon. It is a way to get behind the scenes content from me where I spill all the tea and say the quiet parts out loud. Feel free to join. There are 4 tiers. That third tier, the Sugar Daddy tier, is the one that will get you vlogs every week. And then the $20 tier will get you a live with me at the end of the month on Wednesdays. And then the $10 tier will get your name at the end of my videos. And the $5 tier is just a coffee for Miss Coffee. And I appreciate it. So thank you so much for everyone who joined Patreon. So yes, let's get back to Friday. So Friday night, right? We're sitting here. Mr. Coffee's like, you need to calm down. I'm going to go get your stuff. And I'm like, okay. So he goes and gets my stuff. Now, when I'm in a manic mode, like I was on Friday, which if you didn't notice, I was talking hella fast. I wouldn't stop moving, blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of people that were like, Miss Coffee, why are you talking so fast? Like something wrong with you. It's like, what's going on? As you guys know, I have bipolar disorder type 1. And sometimes whenever where most people would have panic attacks, I get what's called manic episodes, where it sends me into this frenzy of I can't stop moving, I can't stop talking, blah, 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 right? So that's what happened Friday, because between the ferret, Maggie, and releasing my video to the public instead of to my Patreons, which really made me mad, I was in a little bit of a manic mode. But about an hour after live, I finally calmed down. Mr. Coffee went and got my headphones and my blankie, my little heated blankie, and I sat on the couch and listened to music and Ruby Q Crafts because she goes live after me. And yeah, so I got to finally calm down. Now, Mr. Coffee claims, right, that we were going to stay up all night because, you know, me, I have insomnia as well. And with being manic Friday night, I figured, oh, okay, well, this will, you know, give me time to actually calm down before I go to bed, because I don't like going to bed right afterwards, even though it does make you extremely tired when the manic episode is over. I didn't want to go to bed because I had stuff I wanted to do. So I'm sitting there, y'all, we're not even sitting there 20 minutes. This man is out. And I'm talking about he's out like a light when you ain't paid that electric bill and you get that pink slip in the mail and you just ignore it thinking it's just junk mail, and then the next thing you know, your lights are out. Like, he was gone. He was dead sleep. And I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I was like, whatever. When Mr. Coffee and the kids are asleep, it's the only real peace that I get. It's the only time where I'm by myself, where there's nobody needing me. Miss Coffee is off duty. Mommy is off duty. Babe is off duty, and I'm just a person. I'm just a normal person. I don't get a lot of free time. So, like, it's not a problem. Like, if I wanted more free time, I could free up more free time. But sometimes it gets to be a little overwhelming. So having that little bit of free time to myself, even if it's just an hour, really helps, like, rejuvenate my batteries. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let him sleep on the couch, because he always fusses at me because he doesn't like being woken up, because he doesn't like being jolted out of his sleep, which I can understand, because I don't like being jolted out of my sleep either. It gives me an instant headache, and I can't get rid of it. So I'm like, I understand that, but, you know, during the week, if he falls asleep on the couch, I have to wake him up, because I don't want him to sleep on the couch and then have to get up and be like, you ever slept on the couch wrong and be all sleeping all funny, like you sleeping in positions you wouldn't normally sleep in, and then you wake up and your whole body when you go to move sounds like a box of Rice Krispie treats on a Saturday morning with some Saturday morning cartoons? Look, listen, ain't nobody got time for this, okay? Ain't nobody got time for this. So this weekend, I had talked to Mr. Coffee, and one of the things we talked about before he passed out on Saturday or on Friday, I was like, how about we take and teach the children how to do their own laundry. Now, Orion basically knows how to do his own laundry, and we're not fancy people, so I don't separate clothes. I'm an adult I don't do things like everybody else. Like, I don't separate clothes. One, because most of the clothes, the only person that has, the person in the house that has the most colorful clothes is, you write your answer down in the comment section. And you're probably correct. If you said Maggie, you are correct. Now, Orion is more of a dark color clothes kid. He will wear dark blues and grays and blacks and gray and stuff like that. Like, he doesn't typically wear bright colored items unless they're like pajamas or something. So, like, Maggie's the only one that has bright colored clothes, but nobody in this house has white clothes. Because could you imagine Maggie in a white outfit? Look, listen, I'm not even wasting the thought on that. Anyways, I don't know why parents would buy their children white clothes, to be honest, because they're kids. And then you'll sit there and get mad at them. Like, I remember one of my friends growing up, her mom bought her this plain white shirt. I think she was supposed to wear it to Girl Scouts, and she was late for the bus, and she ended up wearing it to school. And of course, it was spaghetti day at school. Of course, she got a stain on it, and her mama beat her tail because she got spaghetti stains all over her new shirt. And I was like, then why would you buy her a white shirt? After that, I vowed I would never own white clothing. No. They show too many stains for me, and no, I don't like it. So Mr. Coffee was just kind of like, well, I don't think it's a bad idea, but I don't think Maggie's quite ready. Now, if you guys know, Maggie's a little bit developmentally delayed, so where she is 9 years old, she's more like in a 7, maybe 6-year-old's body. Like, her brain is like a 5 or a 6-year-old, or 6 or 7-year-old. So, like, she knows what she's doing, but she's not as mature as she should be. So Mr. Coffee was like, well, maybe we should hold off on Maggie. And I'm like, well, it's not like she can blow up the house with the washer. And then as I sat there and thought about it, it is Maggie, right? Yeah, she might be able to blow up the washer. I don't freaking know. Anyways, I was like, well, what's the worst that can happen? And we all know, okay, one, in my house, you never say what's the worst that can happen and Maggie's name in the same sentence, because she will prove to you that there is a worst in that situation. Also, real quick, I'm just going to jump topics real quick. So if you weren't on social media this weekend, one, me neither, because I couldn't post. My phone has been acting up a lot. So if you happen to send me a message and I don't respond within like 30 minutes, I do apologize. That just means I'm either out of the house where I'm not near my tablet, or I'm having to find my tablet so I can respond to you, because my phone at this point, Samsung is making it a brick. Apparently, Samsung did an update last week or so. Like, they did an update a couple of weeks ago, actually. And the update had a bunch of bugs. So now it's messing with all the apps and stuff on my phone. So I haven't been able to use my Messenger properly in 2 or 3 weeks. Now my Instagram is being affected. And so, yeah, I'll get back to that in a few minutes. But I wanted to point out, I want to apologize because I did an unboxing for a company called Diago. Whatever the goddamn company's name is. Diagico. Diago or whatever. And I was told that it was licensed artist, to find out that it was not licensed artist. So, of course, I then made it very aware on social media that this company did not have licensed artwork. And I apologized to the artist, even though the image I got, I don't think it was her work. I'm pretty sure it wasn't her work. But I apologized to the artist that they had stolen the artwork from. And as of this moment that I'm recording this video, that artwork and the website are currently gone. They took down all of their stuff, and yeah, I'm guessing they're going to either revamp or they will try to reopen up under a different name. So I will keep an eye on that, because you're not going to mess with me. And not only that, when I found out, because one of my subscribers was like, this seems suspicious, I'm going to, contact one of the artists. When they told me that they had stolen this woman's artwork, I was upset because I was told that it was licensed artwork. So I was just like, okay, you want to play that game? One of the biggest pet peeves I have is don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Whether the honest truth is going to hurt my feelings or not, do not lie to me. And they lied blatantly to my face. So I was like, you know what? All right, I got you. Bet. So y'all know Miss Coffee is part of the hashtag Petty Club, right? So what I did was last night, I'm sitting there and I'm doing something. I don't even know what the hell I was doing. I was doing something, and a email came through to write a review on the kit that I got from the company. So I wrote them a review. Might not have been a nice one, but I wrote one. Now, if you haven't seen the review, it's over in my stories. They have since deleted everything that I put up, minus like what I've posted, but I've posted to their social media as well. They've deleted all of that and got rid of everything, and I guess they're going to try to start over. So, if you don't see it or it doesn't pop up from the link, which I took the link out of that video. I didn't take the video down because I wasn't sure if that particular image was stolen or not. So, and I usually don't take down videos once they're up. I mean, at this point, what's the point? Like 3,000 people have seen the video. Like, there really isn't no point. People are just going to start asking where the video went. So I don't typically take down videos, but I can make people aware when a mistake has been made. And of course, I can own up to the fact that I did not do my due diligence by checking with an artist first, because you assume that you can trust these companies when they tell you that their artwork is licensed. But now I'm learning that you can't even trust them when they tell you that the artwork is licensed. So I will be making sure to do my due diligence from here on out and making sure to check with at least one of the artists. The problem is a lot of the times the artists don't get back to you. And so I'm going to try to at least get a hold of one of the artists. If I know one of the artists, I will try to get a hold of one of the artists and make sure that the artwork is licensed before I start unboxing other companies. Now, the day you're watching this, the day before this, you would have seen a company that just popped up. I have verified that her artwork is licensed and Shutterstock, and her images also say that they are licensed, whether they're licensed or Shutterstock images, which are public domain images. So yeah, there's that. Also, so if you haven't seen that debacle, it's in my YouTube stories. I'm learning how to do YouTube stories, and I absolutely love it. I love it so much. So it's like TikTok, but for YouTube, and I haven't gotten my bearings enough to get up on TikTok and do anything. But YouTube, on the other hand, for some reason, I feel more comfortable here. This is going to be like the church announcements right here. Also, second thing I wanted to go over. If you didn't know, this is the part of the video where I mentioned Scentsy. Yes, I will be mentioning Scentsy every once in a while, just so you guys know that I sell it. I do get a lot of new subscribers, so just in case you're wondering, I am a new Scentsy consultant. I have a Facebook group over on YouTube. I have a Facebook group over on Facebook for all the Scentsy items. Now, I decided over the weekend that I think it's best if I keep the videos for Scentsy on that Facebook group, just so that I'm not annoying people who aren't interested in videos about Scentsy. Now, if you would like to watch said videos or whatnot, you are more than welcome to join the group. You're not obligated to buy anything. You can just go in there for the post and the videos. But I think every Sunday or something, I'm going to make a video and post it in that group. And just like with Patreon, where that's only their videos, only they will get to see it. But then on Sundays, I will have a little short YouTube short for the actual channel. So there's that. I wanted to announce that. I'm actually liking it a lot. It's a lot of fun to do, and I am a business type person anyways, so this comes naturally to me. So I really, really am enjoying that. Now back to the kits. So let's find our next color first. We are going to do number letter U. So Mr. Coffee was like, we'll see how Maggie does with just, cleaning her room this weekend. Because, of course, as I told you guys, Maggie can do things. It's not like she's incapable of doing things because she's delayed. Nay, nay. And we don't treat her any differently because she's delayed. Nay, nay. You are still a human. You have blood in your circulatory system. Guess what? You're still going to be treated like a human being. That's how I see people of all shapes, colors, sizes, and varieties. If you have blood, then it doesn't matter what color, shape, or size you are a person, and you will get respect as long as you give respect. Amen? Now, with that said, let me tell you about the disrespect this child has for me. So I tell her, now take it. I had to wash clothes in the middle of the week last week because when the kids finally got off quarantine from Mr. Coffee having the Rona, I'm like, don't forget now, we're in a whole Panda Express. You can't be out here maskless. So I made sure to wash clothes before everybody went, or the day after everybody went back to school and work. Or I should say the kids go back to school, because Mr. Coffee went back to work last Monday. He's been at work now for a week, so he's been fine. Did I already do this symbol? Because I don't see a lot of them. I have been trying to work on this, but I don't work on it at night, just because it's hard to see the symbols. Not that they're blurry, but because I don't want to use a light pad. Because I'm lazy. I don't have 4 light pads sitting over there. I'm just like, I don't want to use it. But yeah, so I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, we can take care of this. We can handle this. So here comes Saturday. Now, Saturdays are our lazy days, okay? Saturdays are the days that we just kind of hang out, chill, do whatever. But I've been kind of in a mood, and I'm like, I don't know what this mood is about, but I need to get out of this mood. Well, then I realized what the mood was, because here come dinner time. And I go, what do you guys want? Oh, I don't know. Look, listen, does anybody else have or had children living in their house? And the worst thing about it is asking, because somebody said this in my last video last week when I was telling you guys about what games do you play in real life? Somebody was like, the dinner game. Look, listen, let's talk about it. I hate the dinner game. I absolutely hate it. Every day, I'm like sitting here, like, the kids will be like, I'm hungry. Do you have to eat every day? Every day? Is that necessary? I don't think you need to eat every day. And Maggie's like, but look at me, Mama. I'm just bones. Look, listen, I almost spit out my coffee all over that child when she said that. Just the way she looked and the look on her face, and she was just all pitiful, and she looked like one of those like sad little cherub kids. She was like, but I'm all bones, Mom. I gotta eat something. Look, listen, I'm like, let me go get you a sandwich. Because she ain't lying. She ain't nothing but skin and bones. Mr. Coffee's side of the family has a very high metabolism, which, you know, they're usually, his side of the family is smaller because they have a higher metabolism. I also had a high metabolism until I hit, I'm going to say probably 24. And then my metabolism was like, oh, getting weary. Gone. So now, like, if I think about sandwiches, I gain 2 pounds. If I look at a picture of a cake, I'll gain 3 pounds. If I look at ice cream or snacks, I'll gain a couple of pounds. It's ridiculous how your body reacts to things when you get older. Now, am I proud of my body? Of course I am. You should be proud of whatever skin you're in, because your body has done everything you've asked it to do up until that point. It has possibly birthed children. It has held you together. It has taken you where you needed to go. Be proud of the skin you're in. You know what I mean? So I'm happy with the body that I have, but I'm just like, I could probably, you know, go on a little bit of a diet for the summer. And Mr. Coffee's like, no. And I was like, well, last time I checked, this was my body. You do what you want with your body, but my body, I'm going to do what the hell I want. He goes, no, not the diet thing. He goes, please, not again. Now, I've tried going on diets before, and you've heard the term hangry. Look, listen. When your wife is hangry and she's also bipolar, look, listen, that's not a good combination, okay? That's not a good combo. So Mr. Coffee remembers the last time I tried to go on the diet, and I was literally, like, so angry all the time. And I'm like, is this why little people are so angry? Oh, my God. So I was like, okay, maybe not. So anyways, so it comes time for dinner, and of course I asked the kids, you know, what would you guys like to eat? And they're just like, I don't know. And I'm just like, of course I can make a big old pot if I don't know. I literally pulled a pan out of the oven, went to my back room here, came back into the craft room, grabbed a piece of paper, put IDK on it, put it in the pot, and went, how many IDKs do you want, Orion? He goes, oh, what? I'm like, how many IDKs do you want? He goes, I don't think you can eat that. Well, that's what you said you wanted to eat when I asked you what you wanted to eat, so I made you some IDKs. And he's like, Mom, I don't want IDKs. I want food. I'm like, then what food do you want? Couldn't tell me. Well, Mr. Coffee gets up. He goes, or he had to go to work. So he was at work. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, what kind of food do you want? And he's like, I don't know. And this is Orion I'm talking to. And he's like, I don't know what kind of food I want. I'm like, so you're not really hungry. You're just bored. And he's like, well, no, I'm hungry. I'm like, then what do you want? I don't know. I'm like, okay, Maggie, sweetie, what do you want? She goes, I got a sandwich. I'm fine. Okay. All right. Maggie's fine. Orion, would you like a sandwich? No. Ramen noodles? No. Would you like a Lunchable? No. Do you want a 4-course meal with a waiter and somebody to, you know, wipe your face? And he's like, what does that even mean? Look, listen, if you can't just tell me what you want, you tiny human. And he's like, oatmeal? I want to know who's eating oatmeal in the afternoon like this kid is, okay? Somebody tell me who's eating oatmeal like this. This kid will eat oatmeal breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you let him. So I was like, fine, whatever. I don't care at this point. And it's lunchtime. It wasn't dinner time. Because then by the time 2 o'clock came, Mr. Coffee has rolled into the house back from his job. He left at 7 and then came back at 5 or at 2. And he was just like, what's going on? I'm like, well, I need to make a grocery list of groceries that we need because I'm going to need you to go to the store to get groceries. And he's like, okay, so what all do we need? So I tell him what all we need. And I was like, you know what? No, scratch all that. Scratch all of that. Because I'm thinking back to those times where I've made dinner and the kids look at it and go, ew, I don't want this. Well, what do you want? I don't know. You don't know what you want to eat, but you don't want to eat what I made. So now we have implemented a new rule that we no longer make the grocery list. The kids have to make it. And when I say have to make it, they have to tell us what to get from the store because I'm tired of wasting food on these tiny humans. And of course, they're sitting there and we're like, okay, guys, what do you guys want to eat? What do you guys want from the store? Blah, blah, blah. Both kids sitting there, dead silent. Real gangsters move in silence. And I'm like, look, listen, I'm going to need you to open your mouth and tell us what you want for dinner for this week. I don't know. You don't know. I'm like, you want some IDKs? I can make IDKs all day. I'm making these kids think that IDKs are sandwiches. And if you don't know, IDK means I don't know. It's like the shortened version of it. You're welcome. So it took them like 35 minutes to come up with 4 meals. 4 meals. And Maggie, she's just like, tacos. Tacos. I just want tacos. Tacos. Ooh, can we have chili? Look, listen. I only make chili when it's cold outside because it's a cold weather food. That's how I was brought up. Like my dad did not care what was going on. He would only make chili when it was super cold outside. Does anybody else have a parent like that? Like that they didn't make certain meals until like a certain time of year? My dad would literally only make chili if it was cold out. If it was not cold out and it was like fall, he don't care. No, it's got to be less than like 40 degrees for Pawpaw to make chili. Like my dad is not making the chili before it's like, or while it's like 50 to something odd degrees outside. He's not doing it. So I was just like, no, that's a cold weather food, honey. And it's not going to be cold this week. It's going to be a little bit warmer. And she's like, but I love chili. I know. And Ryan's like, hobo meal. Now, if you don't know what hobo meal is a very simple meal. I named it hobo meal because it seemed like something a hobo would eat. Because when I met Mr. Coffee, of course, like I said, he had a good home training. He didn't know how to cook. And I was just like, you don't know how to cook? He goes, I can cook one thing. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what is it? Yo, it was ground beef, mashed potatoes, and corn. I was like, what is this? And he goes, okay. I was like, well, I like seasoning, so we're going to put some seasoning in it, and I like onions, and we're going to put some onions in it, and I'm not going to completely change the dynamic of whatever this is that you made. I'm going to call it hobo meal because it looks like something a hobo would eat, and yeah, the sad part is, it's one of Orion's favorite things to eat, so he was just like, hobo meal. Okay. At this current point in time, I have about 6 pounds of ground beef in my freezer because apparently everything that they wanted was made from ground beef. And I was like, y'all gonna get tired of ground beef here in a while. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's a lot of ground beef to be eaten for 4 days. Like, y'all don't even eat that much. That's the sad part. I spent all this time in the kitchen cooking and cleaning up after myself and everything else. It's not like they eat a whole lot of food. Like, they eat like 3 or 4 bites and they're like, I'm full. Look, listen, sit down. Sit it all the way down. So, yeah, so there was that. And then Saturday, when Mr. Coffee got home, we wrote out the grocery list because I was like, I'm going to send you to the store tomorrow to go get groceries. So Mr. Coffee's like, all right, bet. So I was like, so today we just had lazy meal. If you don't know what lazy meal is, lazy meal in our house is when everybody just kind of picks something that they want to eat and make it for themselves because I don't feel like cooking and I'm lazy. That is the life that I live, folks. I cook 6 out of 7 days a week. And so every once in a while I go, time for a lazy day. Lazy day means we do nothing. We just watch movies. We watched Hero 6 because Baymax just came out with Cincy, the Cincy buddy, like the little stuffed animal. Baymax just came out, so we watched Hero 6. We watched Encanto. Of course, we got to get that Encanto in there. We watched Lilo and Stitch because Maggie's obsessed with Lilo and Stitch right now. So we watched movies. Well, me and Maggie sat back here and watched movies on the Being Bad chair. Mr. Coffee played video games with his brother. And then Orion, of course, was upstairs, as he calls it, slapping gorillas. I don't know. It's something called Gorilla Tag. It's something he plays on VR. I have no clue. Last time I went in to go check on him to see what it was, he was a clerk at a store and he was slapping a gorilla. So I was like, well, he said slap a gorilla. So I guess, like, you know, whatever. And I'm not one of these parents that, you know, shields my children from violent games. Like, no, I'm not going to let him play, like, Walking Dead. But I don't shield them from violent games. So if there's a game with like Fortnite, he loves playing Fortnite. I'm not going to be like, you can't play Fortnite, it shows guns. For that matter, mommy shows guns. What's the point? Like, mommy has guns. What's so bad about guns? Like, teach your kid gun safety, folks. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, tomorrow, what all do we need to do? And the ferrets were out. And of course, when the ferrets are out, you have to safeguard your stuff because, again, they will steal it. This goddamn on ferret keeps trying to, I don't know what her problem is, but Anna, our female ferret, keeps trying to steal my vape rig. Now, ferrets like rubber, and my vape rig has rubber on it. So, like, it has, like, this leather holding spot here. But then this part is rubber. And if you can look, there are bite marks on my goddamn vape rig because the ferret wouldn't leave it alone. I'm like, get off my vape rig. Why do you... Like, she legit thought I wasn't going to see her trying to steal my vape rig. And I'm like, I see you. Like, I see you with my own two eyes. Like, what are you doing right now? It was... Y'all, look, listen. Then I have Gumball. Gumball has somehow gotten himself stuck in the cage. Now, Gumball, if you remember the movie 101 Dalmatians, right? Remember there was that chubby puppy, the one chubby puppy? Gumball is that chubby puppy. Now, the ferrets like to go into the dog's crates for no reason other than to poop or pee in there because they think it's a giant bathroom. And I'm like, this is not a mall. You cannot just, like, this is not a public bathroom. Like, you can't just come over here pooping and peeing in the dog's crates. So when the ferrets come out, the dog crates are closed. Well, Gumball decided he was going to squeeze his little tail in the dog crates and get himself stuck. So he's over there making all kinds of hissing and weird noises. I'm like, what the hell is that? I go over there and he's like flailing around, spinning in a circle, trying to get out of there. And I'm like, you're just going to rip yourself in half, little buddy. So I go and get him out of there and he runs off. And of course, before he could run past Daisy, Daisy grabs him up, looks him over, licks him, wouldn't let him go. I had to tell her to let the dang on ferret go. I was like, leave that ferret alone, Daisy. What are you doing? Like, leave it alone. Y'all, Daisy thinks that they're puppies, so I have to, like, watch her. Oh, that's the letter I. That's not the letter T. There is one letter T right here. Bloop. But that's the letter I. I don't know what I'm doing. Put that back in there. So, yeah. So, Saturday was your normal, typical Saturday. And then yesterday was laundry day, okay? Let me set the scene for you here. I gotta set the scene. It's laundry day. It's like 11 in the morning. I go into Maggie's room and it looks like a toy grenade went off in there. And as I fight my way through the Legos and the toy cars. And why does my child have Legos and toy cars, but she's a girl? Because we don't generalize toys. If Maggie wants a Tonka truck, she's going to get a Tonka truck. If Maggie wants Barbie dolls, she's going to get Barbie dolls. She plays with a little bit of everything. She doesn't care. So I'm moving through all these toys that she has on her floor. And Maggie likes to set up death traps. I call them death traps because Maggie likes to sit here and will purposely, like, she knows what hurts. She will purposely put, like, Legos and stuff on her floor so that she can hear me walking up to her bed. And I'm like, look, listen, this ain't even cool. It's not cool at all. Like, why would you do this to your mommy? Like, I am your mother and you're going to set death traps for me? Like, that's highly sus. And she's like, well, you always come in here messing with my stuff. When she says messing with her stuff, y'all, she means cleaning it up. Because I cleaned it up, Wednesday last week while they were in school. She comes home and she goes, what happened to my room? I'm like, it looks great, doesn't it? This is what it looks like when it's actually clean. She goes, why would you do that? You don't respect my privacy. Okay, look, one, you're 9. You have no privacy. You're 9. What do you need privacy? Okay, you can have privacy when you can spell privacy. And Orion comes by, P-R-I. Shut up, Orion. Okay. He walked down the stairs. And I'm like, when you can spell privacy, I will let you have privacy. And she looks at me and she goes, I know how to spell it. And I'm like, okay, well then spell it. Not knowing she didn't know how to spell it, okay? Like, I know she doesn't know how to spell this word. So what does she do? Hey, Echo, how do you spell privacy? Now, y'all know Maggie doesn't talk right? Maggie has a little bit of a speech impediment. And so she doesn't say words correctly. So a lot of the times the Echo does not understand what she's saying. So she'll be like, what is probably? A pervert is someone. I'm like, no. Stop. It's always the weird words that she hears that she decides that she's going to define, okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, get your laundry and stuff together. Let's clean this room up so that your room is nice and clean, and then we can play Exploding Kittens. And she goes, okay. Now, I'm a very competitive person, but I also suck at card games, except for spades and pity pat. I can play spades and pity pat. And don't worry, I don't renege. So she starts cleaning her room, getting things together, and I'm like, all right, bet. I go and check on Ryan. I'm like, are you cleaning your room? He goes, my room is already clean. He has to keep his room clean to play the VR because you need the space. So he doesn't have a lot of, like, he has a pretty decent sized room. So he needs the time, or he needs to keep it clean just for the space to play his VR game. So his room is usually clean, which it was clean before the VR stuff happened. But his room is usually clean anyways. So I was like, all right, so I got them clean, and Mr. Coffee was still asleep because we stayed up until 4 a.m. on Saturday, because Saturday is the one day of the week that we can stay up late because we can sleep in a little bit on Saturday. And don't you know, nobody was awake in this house until noon on Sunday, okay? I was able to record my video for yesterday on Sunday morning because everybody was asleep. Nobody woke up until like 10 minutes after I made that video. Then Orion came down. He's like, hi, Mom. Hey, dude, you good? And he's like, yeah, I'm just tired. Oh, okay. Get some breakfast. So I'm sitting there, and Maggie's getting her room clean. I go downstairs, and I decide that, you know, I'm going to get the medicine out because we got to pull out the pharmacy. We got to pull out the Tepper pharmacy every morning, okay? So the Tepper pharmacy consists of Orion's allergy pill, Maggie's 2 meds for her seizure medication, Mr. Coffee's 3 pills for his pills every day, my 2 pills for my pills every day, a sleeping gummy, a vitamin gummy for the kids, a vitamin gummy for myself, and Mr. Coffee's vitamins. And then Killian stuff has to come out. His 2 zinc pills, his allergy pill, his antibiotics, because he's now back on antibiotics because his face was breaking out. The doctor decided that we're going to put him back on antibiotics to see if we can get his face to clear back up again and see if we can keep the fur on his face. If not, they are going to do another procedure on him to see what exactly his zinc levels are at and why they're so low. So there's that. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I got the pills out and I got my stuff ready for the day. I got my little meal replacement shake because I drink a meal replacement shake in the morning and in the afternoon because I don't eat breakfast or lunch. So I replaced that meal with this shake that's supposed to help curb your it doesn't really curb your appetite. It makes it where you feel like you don't need anything to eat. I'm a big snacker. Any other snackers in the house? Look, listen, I'm a huge snacker. Num. Like, when it comes to snacks, I am the Jeffrey Dahmer, the nom-nommer, because I love me some snacks, okay? So it helps me not snack all day, and it makes sure that I'm also getting vitamins and minerals and nutrients that I need or whatnot. And so I really like the meal replacement plan that we are on. And though it's a little pricey, I still really, really like it. And so I'm sitting there and I get my meal replacement stuff made. I get my coffee made, which for those folks who pay for that $5 tier on Patreon, I appreciate it. Stay hydrated, folks. They buy me coffees. So, what letter was I doing? U. No, I'm doing I. I see a U. Here we go, right there. I hate when I'm diamond painting and my drills get stuck on my pin like this. They're like wrong side up. And I try to put them down and they're just like, nope. Anyways, so Orion comes down first. And he has his laundry basket. He goes, here's my laundry basket. I'm like, do you have... Because there's a checklist that you have to go over with your kids when they have the laundry. So my checklist is, do you have this many pairs of underwear? Do you have this many pairs of pants? Do you have this many pairs of shirts? Or this many pairs of underwear, this many pairs of pants, this many shirts? Do you have this many face masks? And it just goes on and on until I make sure they have everything. Like, you have 5 pairs of socks, blah, blah, blah. So Orion's like, yep. Can I go back to what I was doing? I'm like, nope, you are going to learn how to do your own laundry today. And he goes, oh, okay, I can do that. And he goes, but I already know how to do it. So I was like, hold up, what? What do you mean you know how to do it? He's like, I already know how to do my own laundry. I watch you. And I'm like, oh, okay, show me how it's done then. So he goes in, he takes and takes all his clothes and gets them all unballed up and everything and fixes all his clothes and throws them nicely in the washer where they're nice and even. He goes, you got to keep it even so that the basket doesn't bounce. And I was like, look at you, you do watch me. And so he gets all his clothes in and I'm like, all right, bet. His clothes finish. He puts them in the dryer, and then it comes time for Maggie. Y'all, look, listen. Maggie comes downstairs wearing an armful of bracelets because she has a little skeleton arm, so she can fit about 30 bracelets on her arm, okay? She comes down with all these bracelets on her arm, and she's like, I'm ready to do my laundry. She sounds like what little girls sound like with the hair beads in. I miss hair beads. I used to get those when I was little, and I remember swallowing one in class because I was chewing on my hair. I don't know why. I was a weird kid. Sorry, I got to scratch my leg. Hold on a second. All right, so Maggie comes in, and Ryan goes, Mom, I can show her how to do it. I'm like, all right, bud, I'll let you take care of that. I'm going to go wake up your dad. Because by this time, it's like 4 something, and Mr. Coffee still wasn't up. So I needed to get him up so he can go out and walk the dogs and go to the grocery store. So I walk away thinking everything was cool. I walk back to the back room. I had to grab something to take upstairs. As I walk back, I see feet and Maggie going, oh, Ryan, help me out. I got it. And I'm like, what the heck? You know what? I'm just going to let him handle it. So I just walk away. I'm like, Orion can take care of it. If he can take care of his sister, then he'll be fine in life. So I walk away. I go upstairs to wake up Mr. Coffee. It takes about 20 minutes. I come back downstairs. Maggie is now sitting in the washer with her basket on the dryer, pulling the clothes from the basket and putting them nice in, like she's trying to fold them in the washer. Like she's sitting there trying so hard to fold her clothes. And essentially at this point, she's just making triangles and she's putting them nice and neatly in the washing machine. And I'm like, Maggie, sweetie, honey, what are you doing? Well, I gotta get my clothes in here. And Ryan goes, I give up, I'm leaving. And I'm like, okay, no, Ryan, come back, please. Don't leave me alone with her. Hey, Maggie, how's it going? So why are we folding clothes in the laundry? Like, why are you in the why are you sitting in the washing machine? She goes, well, Mom, how else am I supposed to get my clothes in here? I'm small. I'm just a skeleton. Look at me. And I'm like, stop saying that. One, because it's funny as hell when she says it. And 2, I'm like, that has nothing to do with laundry. You don't sit in the washing machine. And she goes, I'm almost done. So she gets up. She makes sure all her clothes are nice because I guess Orion told her to make sure her clothes were even. So she thought that meant fold them in there. And I'm like, Tootsie, you don't have to fold them. Well, at least they're in there nice and neat now. I didn't have the nerve to tell her that they weren't going to look like that when she pulled them out of there later. So I was just like, okay. Well, here comes like an hour or so later. Orion gets his clothes and he goes, Mom, can you teach me how to fold? Because that's the one thing he didn't know how to do. And I was like, yeah, dude, I got you. Now take it. I've worked in retail, okay? I worked in retail for quite a long time. And so I fold clothes like I would fold clothes at, say, Old Navy or something. I fold them, as Mr. Coffee calls it, fancy-like. And I don't know what the hell that means. Now, I don't have a problem. Now, you tell me about how your experience is. I don't have a problem with washing, drying, or folding clothes. I hate putting them away. Which one of those do you hate the most? Washing, drying, folding, or putting away? Write that down in the comment section because I hate putting them away because if I've done all the work to wash, dry, and fold them, the least you can do is put them away. Mr. Coffee hates putting them away. And I'm like, both of us can't hate putting them away because now none of our clothes are going to get put away. My clothes usually get put away. Mr. Coffee's clothes will sit in the laundry basket all week and he'll just pull from the laundry basket if he has to. Like, he does not care. 0 F's given. Okay, moving right along. So a couple hours goes by and I'm showing Orion how to fold his clothes and I'm like, okay, dude, you want to fold the arms in and it makes everything look like a rectangle and then you fold it in half and then fold it in half again with the chest part sticking up. And he goes, oh, well, that's how you get all those clothes. Now, the kids have little drawers. So he's like, that's how you get all those clothes in my drawer. I'm like, yes, you fold them down as small as possible without them being unrecognizable. Because you want to, like, usually there's like a logo or something on the shirt. And if you put even if you put part of the logo where it's showing, you at least know what that shirt is. So I make it a point. That's how I fold their clothes. And he goes, well, how do you fold pants? And I'm like, okay, fold them in half again, fold them in half again, boom, pants. And he's like, oh, well, that's super easy. How do you fold towels? And Mr. Coffee's like, don't ask her how to fold a fitted sheet. I'm like, what's wrong with folding fitted sheets? Next question. Can you fold a fitted sheet? Mr. Coffee swears up and down that I'm some kind of a witch because I can fold a fitted sheet. I also worked at a hotel with my sister, so I know how to fold a fitted sheet. But apparently you have to be knowing and practicing witchcraft to do this. And I'm like, that is not how this at all works. I know how to fold a fitted sheet, and it's not that bad. Y'all, it really isn't that bad. So it's just like, all right, whatever. And Orion looks at me. He goes, what's a fitted sheet? I'm like, that sheet on your bed that goes around the mattress. He goes, oh, hold up. You can fold that? I'm like, yes, Orion. You have plenty of them in your, like, Orion has the biggest linen closet in his room. So that's where I store all the spare sheets. And I know he won't mess with them. Whereas Maggie will have them all over her bed all at the same time. So they go in Orion's room. And so I'm sitting there. And he's like, okay. I think I got it. So he folds his clothes and he goes, Maggie, time to get your clothes out of the washer. She grabs a stepladder. She goes to get into the washer. She ends up falling over and falling into the washer. And don't worry, she didn't hurt herself because I have an agitator. So she just kind of slid down the agitator like it was a stripper pole. I'm not even sure how that happened. Trying to picture it. Don't do that to yourself. You're just going to hurt yourself. Moving right along. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, girl, get out of the wash. Why are you always in the washing machine? I'm like, you just washed those clothes and you just put all your dirty body all over them clothes. And she's like, well, Mama, I'm trying, but I'm little, so it's hard for me to do. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to help you. So I pull her out of the washer again and I go, here we go. So you just grab a fistful of clothes and throw it in the dryer. And she goes, hold up. Mom, what's wrong with my clothes? I'm like, what do you mean what's wrong with them? She goes, I folded them so I don't have to fold them later. Why didn't they stay folded? Look, listen, you put clothes into the washing machine. They're not gonna stay folded, Tootsie. Like, that's not how it works. She, of course, throws a fit because her clothes were not folded when they came out of the dryer or the washer. And I'm like, oh my God. You're really going to get mad then because you're now just going to throw them in the dryer. And then once they come out of the dryer, you have to fold them. And she goes, I don't like folding clothes. So Maggie's biggest pet peeve with laundry is folding. She doesn't like to fold. Orion, he doesn't seem to care about anything either way. Like, Orion's like the mellow kid. Like, he's just kind of like, I'm here for the fun. Whatever else happens, happens. So I don't really have to worry about Orion. It's that Maggie that likes to, like, I don't even know. She's just Maggie, okay? Maggie is an adjective, an adverb, and whatever else you want to call her. She's a whole vibe, okay? So we're sitting there, and she gets her laundry in the dryer, and I fold her clothes because, look, listen, I don't have all day. I got things to do, and I don't have time for Maggie to be sitting there whining because her clothes came out of the dryer and they weren't folded. And I'm like, Mr. Coffee's like, they have a dryer that actually does that. And I'm like, look, listen, the way our life is set up, we'll never have one. You will be the dryer that, or the person that folds your clothes. And of course, then Orion looks at Mr. Coffee and is like, hold up, Dad, can you do laundry? And he's like, dude, you watched me do laundry the entire time your mom was down with surgery. He goes, Mom had surgery? Look, listen, y'all. I never said my kids were the brightest crowns in the box. I never said that they were sharpest tools in the shed. Don't get me wrong. Orion is hella smart, okay? But there's some times where, like, I don't know. I have this theory about smart people. Like, they can't be smart and have common sense. Because, like, Mr. Coffee, look, listen, not a common sense to be found. Not in that brain. Nope. But he's smart as a whip. He can make a whole computer. Like, him and Orion right now are making a computer. And Orion thinks that that's his birthday present. And I thought that was just really cute. Because he's, like, all excited. Because he's like, I get to make a computer for my birthday with Dad. That's awesome. Now, he asked for a gaming computer. So he thinks that's what he's making. And I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. Well, whatever. It is what it is. What he doesn't realize is we bought his gaming computer. They're actually making Mr. Coffee's gaming computer. They've been working on it for a little while now because the way Mr. Coffee's time is set up, it's hard to get him to sit still without him passing out. Because Mr. Coffee has, like, narcolepsy when it comes to, like, sitting down. If anybody else is like that, you get off of work and immediately go sit down, and then next thing you know, it's like 4 days later, and you're like, what year is it? Like, that's that feeling right there. That's that I sat down and I shouldn't have. Like, you shouldn't have sat down, but you did it anyways. So I fold up Maggie's clothes, I get it upstairs, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to cook dinner. Mr. Coffee ran out to go get groceries. He comes back, and I'm like, we're going to clean out the ferret cage today because I need to clean their bedding. Every week or two, I switch out their bedding. They have 2 different types of bedding, and I will switch it between the 2. There's a lady that's on Etsy that makes ferret cage bedding, like the liner covers, And I have 2 sets of those. I need to get another set of those, actually. So I might do that after I'm finished here. But hold up. S. I need to get S. There it is. But that was Saturday, and then comes Sunday. Okay, let's talk about Sunday real quick. I don't think I have much time left, but we're going to talk about Sunday. So Sunday comes, and of course Sunday is cleaning day, and we had just cleaned Maggie's room, and of course it was a mess again. And so I'm like, when are you making a mess? Like, I swear she gets up and she sleepwalks, but she messes up her room. And I'm like, when did this happen? Yo, I swear before we went to bed that night, the room was clean. It was clean. And when I woke up the next day, it wasn't. And I had to wake her up. So I'm just like, when did you even do this? Like, what kind of witchcraft are you practicing? Because you practicing the magic, I don't even know how to say it. She's practicing how to dirty up her room is essentially the magic she's practicing. Because I don't know how in the hell she messed up a room when she was asleep. She's like, I was playing. When? Apparently she got up at 5 because my neighbor guy they've been really loud lately, and I don't know why. And my neighbor guy was slamming doors yesterday, and I don't know why. That's not my business. That's his business. But he was getting the dogs barking because he was slamming the doors. And Maggie apparently had woken up because of this and was like, oh, look, I'm going to play for a little bit. So she got up and started playing at 5 a.m. and then decided to go back to sleep. Thank goodness, because my kids have never gotten up so early. I have sleepy kids. My kids love sleep. They just sleep all day. Especially if you let them, they literally will sleep all day. Oh, sorry, I bumped you. What letter is this? This is D. And then this is M and U. So D, M, U. I see U. I see M. I'm trying to, like, fill in this section down here because I'm like, I'm all the way up here, but I'm still filling in little dots. The confetti on this kit, you guys, it's not disrespectful. It's just... It's a lot. It's a lot of confetti. I haven't done a confetti kit in a while. There was a little bit of confetti in Bubblegum Girl, but not really in like Lollipop or Rainbow Lollipop. So, see, this is the letter M. So we're going to put that here. And we have a whole mess of M's up here. Like, what was I doing? Like, good gravy. Anyways, so I was like, okay, well, it's time to clean up your room and get everything situated. Okay? So, of course, like I said, we did laundry and everything, and it comes time for the kids to get ready for bed. That's what I was trying to say. It comes time to get the kids ready for bed Sunday. Now, the kids, of course, go to bed at a normal time because of the fact that they have school the next day, so we try to have them in bed by 9. We had them going to bed at 10 there for a while, but it wasn't working out. Like, the math wasn't mathing because they would wake up hella tired. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're going to go back to bed at 9 o'clock. So they go to 9 o'clock is their sweet spot for going to bed. So they're allowed to watch like 20 minutes of TV and then they have to go to sleep. So I'm sitting there and Maggie and them, they get their showers and everything. And Maggie goes to go upstairs and she goes, Mom, I think you forgot something. I'm like, what did I forget? Apparently when Maggie went to go get in the shower, she didn't notice she had a friend in the shower. Now, when Mr. Coffee got back from getting groceries, we let the ferrets out of their cage because I had to swap their cage liners. Well, I forgot that the ferrets were out, and when the kids went to go take a shower, when Maggie goes upstairs, she doesn't necessarily close her bedroom door, and the ferrets love it in there because it's like a paradise of stuffed animals. And so apparently Gumball decided he was going to jump into the shower with Maggie and sit and play in the water. Ferrets like to swim. And so I'm just like, but hold up. Maggie has a stand-up shower. What is he swimming in? Like, there's nothing in there to swim. And so I'm sitting there, and Maggie's like, you forgot something. I'm like, what did I forget? She hands me this wet-looking rat. And I was like, what the Gumball? I'm like, what'd you do to him? Now, I'm thinking Maggie done kidnapped this poor little defenseless ferret and drug it into the shower. Nay, nay. Apparently, she also doesn't close her shower door all the way, which explains why her floor is always wet. But apparently Gumball decided to just slide right in there and ask her about her car's extended warranty. And I'm like, look, listen, Maggie, why didn't you bring him out earlier? She goes, what you want me to do? Bring him down while I was naked? Okay, yeah, no, you have a robe. She goes, that's a lot of work, Mom. It's a lot of work to put on a robe? Look, listen, the things that happen in this house, I swear. So, yeah, so that was the weekend. Luckily, we all survived. But Orion woke up with a little bit of a cough this morning, and he said his throat was bothering him, and I was like, no. Now take it. Orion's been in his room this entire time. Anytime you say the C word, you say Panda Express, Orion is gone. He's out. But for some reason, somehow, some way, this poor child, this poor child, I don't know if he's just got like a little cold or what, but his throat's bothering him and he's coughing. And I'm like, please tell me you're not about to get the Panda Express. And he goes, what? I'm like, no. Don't you start, because Orion's kind of a hypochondriac. He freaks out about every little thing. So we don't typically tell him things unless we're 100% certain something's about to happen. So I was like, no. I never said that you had it. I just was trying to figure out what exactly you do have, because it's weird that you all of a sudden have this sore throat and he's coughing just a little bit. And for those folks, don't worry, they're vaccinated. They're fully vaccinated. So it's just like, what were you doing when it first started? And he's like, I was just playing my game. And we have to dust and clean religiously in Orion's room, because if not, he does get he gets sick. But this weekend I didn't go in there and clean, so I'm wondering if it's that. So I'm wondering how he's doing at school today, because if he's doing good at school, that means when he gets home from school today, I need to clean his room. Meaning I need to dust and vacuum and all that other fun stuff, because Orion can vacuum in his own room, but he can't bring the vacuum up the stairs. I have to bring it upstairs, and then I give it to him, and then he will vacuum his room, and then he will help Maggie vacuum her room, because again, the whole sock and the vacuum thing. So I was just like, well, I'm going to check to see how he's doing after he gets home from school. But I got a package earlier. I was sitting here watching Rachel. Rachel did a 6-hour stream over on Twitch, which I'm hella mad because I didn't realize this. And this whole time I've been sitting here going, boy, I really wish somebody was live right now. Because, Saturday, Jeremy didn't go live. And I sat here like the John Travolta meme. What am I supposed to do with my life now? When people I watch on YouTube don't go live, I feel lost, because I have a schedule and they are not understanding the assignment, okay? The assignment is I have a schedule. Now, I'm just joking. He obviously had something to do, so he couldn't go live, and I was just like, oh, that sucks. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Literally, what the hell am I supposed to do now? So I'm sitting there Saturday, lost. And then Rachel, I sat here this morning lost, and then I get in Rachel's stream, and she's like, can you believe we were going to go for 6 hours? I'm like, hold up, what? Y'all, look, listen, she just finished not too long ago, and I was like, God dang it, I've been sitting here listening to, news and watching Markiplier. There's nothing wrong with watching Markiplier, but I'm just saying, I could have been watching Rachel this whole time, and I'm sitting here boy, I sure wish somebody went live in the mornings. That would be wonderful. Yo, I'm a mess. Also, let's talk real quick. Yesterday, when I went into Maggie's room, I noticed that she had a little dollop of Daisy graveyard in her sink, but it wasn't sour cream or anything like that. It was toothpaste, because tell me how you do this for your house. How do you do this? Maggie, when she goes to put toothpaste on, now the way I showed her is you wet the toothbrush, put the toothpaste on, you wet the toothbrush. Maggie decides to put the toothpaste on, then wet it, then try to brush her teeth. But what happens about 50% of the time is as soon as that water, because she can't just slowly turn it on. She has to full force turn it on, and then the water's just to the toothpaste, and the toothpaste just falls out in the sink. But does she clean it up? No. Why would she do that? We're just going to get some more toothpaste. And I'm like, no wonder you run out of toothpaste so much. Oh my God. And she's like, well, you want me to use it out of the sink? It's dirty now. I'm like, I just cleaned that sink, ma'am. I literally just cleaned that sink. And she's like, well, it needs to be cleaned again, because now it's full of toothpaste again. I'm like, girl. I'm like, you know what? You about to learn how to do your own freaking cleaning, because I've had enough. So I made her clean up her sink, because I'm like, who has this much toothpaste in the sink? Yo. But I got a package earlier. Let's talk about packages right now. I got a package earlier. Does anybody else notice that when you have a package that comes damaged, you notice how quickly those postal workers move? But on a day where you are waiting for a package, it takes them forever and a day to get to you. Look, listen, I'm going to need postal workers to move as quickly as they do when they have a damaged item versus when the item is perfectly fine. Like, I don't care if it's in pristine condition. I'm going to need you to move with the quickness, light a fire up under your ass. It's time to go. Apparently, Mr. Coffee has to order his tea that he likes to drink online because our store does not carry it. So we have to order it and have it shipped to our house. And every time, without fail, there is always one canister that is half busted open. And sure enough, I go to open it and there was a canister in there half busted open. And I'm like, what the flip-flop? Well, as soon as the guy rang the doorbell, he almost broke his neck on ice, slipping around, trying to run from my house. And I'm thinking, oh, great. It must be a big mess if he's trying to kill himself to get away from the house. Y'all, Wyatt looked like a samurai went to the box and just went, yike, on the inside of the box. Like, there's like a tiny samurai in the box with a samurai sword just hacking into the tea. One of the tea jugs literally was almost cut in half. And I'm like, how the flip do you do that? How do you do that? Like, I know they get a little crazy sometimes with the box cutters, but this legitimately looked like somebody had cut it in half. And I'm like, Lord save us all. But with that said, folks, I got to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, please leave those down in the comment section below. You know how we do. And I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But with that said, I got to go. I hope you guys had a great time. Did you have fun? Did you answer questions? Don't forget to leave those answers in the comment section because you guys have, y'all keep me cracking up in that comment section. So with that said, stay caffeinated, stay crafty. Please remember to wear your mask, wash your hands, don't touch your face in public, keep your 6 feet, and always try to be kind, be courteous, be cool. Bye, guys.